if you give us a call here at the station. The number is 434-394-0924. And like I said, it's Wednesday, January 22nd. I'm Chris Wood, I think. And we've got Noah Massage in here this morning with me. And good morning, Noah.
Good morning, Chris. How you doing?
I'm
Top
doing
of the morning.
Fine. How are you?
Doing well. Doing good.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got cold temperatures outside.
16 degrees last time I checked.
Well, yeah, it was between 50. What difference does it make? It's just cold.
Yeah,
right?
It's cold. It's cold out there for sure.
And we've got, let's see here. Let me put that back up there. Well, what's been going on with you this week?
Nothing much. Just busy, staying on top of things here, you know. We do have a new refreshed website, I'll say.
Just saw it.
And with, the show, we have a program schedule so you can see who's on the air when. We also have, different pages for our different shows, like Lunch Break and, Live Drive at 5. So all that's still on WFLO.net. Same domain, same web address, but just a new, clean, fresh look. So, yeah, it's we got that in the works.
Good.
For sure.
Yeah. So it lets everybody know, exactly what's going on. And
exactly.
My recipe page looks great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I showed you that this morning.
Yes,
Wanted to get approval, of course,
Of course,
yeah. And also there's a nice little section called On-Air Mentions. And what the on-air mentions are is basically if you have a community calendar announcement that you'd like to get to us, or if you have a birthday, you can still use, birthdays at WFLO.net, or you can just go to our website and go ahead to that page and fill it out, and then just do it on the website. You don't have to open up your email to send those to us now.
Oh, great. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. I believe we have our first caller.
Okay, well, let's see who it is.
Good morning. You're on the Call Flo Show. Hello? Hello?
Hello. Top of the morning to you, sir. All right. They're calling back, it looks like.
Yep. So we'll try to pick up this call again. Hello, you're on the air.
Good morning, sunshine.
Oh, good morning, Barry. How are you?
I'm doing fine this morning. How you doing?
Doing all right.
Has there been any update on Henry?
We've got some news yesterday that he has been transferred to a health facility in Forest, Virginia, which is right outside of, it's in the area of Lynchburg.
Yeah.
I had heard that. How's he doing? Have you heard?
I guess he's doing all right. Haven't heard otherwise.
I haven't heard otherwise either. Yeah.
So, of course, he's not back on the air Tuesdays and Thursdays yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, but we hope he'll be back soon.
Let's hope for the best for Henry. He's a great guy, and thousands of people love him and appreciate him, and thanks for all he's ever done and will do, and just continued best health for he and his family, and hope he will continue to improve.
Henry's a trooper, so,
Yes, he is.
It takes a lot to get him down. Yeah, that's right. So
his mother called him the other day. He didn't feel up to talking, but she did get to talk to his daughter, and she was very kind.
That's good. Yeah,
So
Christy.
our best wishes, and Henry, if you hear us, keep up the good work, buddy, and even if you don't hear us, we wish you the very best.
All right.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks, Barry.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Yes, I was going to mention that he had been moved to a facility there, and so as far as him getting better, we certainly hope that he does.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I do have his address.
Yes.
So if you mail cards to his home address, Christy will be sure to make sure that he receives those. So it's Henry Fulcher, 265 Linview. That's all one word, Lynview Drive, Lynchburg 24502. So
make sure you send cards and or just treats, notes,
treats.
a flower, array.
Yeah. Arrangement.
Don't forward your bills to that address now. We don't want that.
We don't want that. Absolutely not.
Of course not. That'd be terrible.
We do pray for Henry, and
we do. Yes.
hope that he feels better soon, or gets better soon.
Yeah.
I've got a recipe coming up for you.
You do have a recipe today, which is very exciting.
Well, it's cold weather, and that means soup, right?
Yeah.
So we've got the basic ham and bean soup.
Mm-hmm.
And and it's easy and delicious. It'll warm your body as well as your heart.
And your soul.
And your soul.
Oh, man.
Right down to your toes.
Yeah. You know, Chris, I got to say, I did something yesterday, and I'm telling you, I wouldn't bring this up with John because I don't think John would be interested. But yesterday, last night in the kitchen, I was... Sorry.
Do you have a large kitchen in your place? Or
it's a medium-sized kitchen. You know, it's kind of an L shape. So I got the oven on one side, and then my coffee pot on the other. It's a counter, marble counter, which I love. I got some wood cutting boards, some wood spoons, utensils. I got a nice cutlery set too. So,
what is it? Is it with the wooden spoons, with the wooden utensils, the cooking utensils? Why do cooks prefer that rather than your metal stuff?
Sure. I want to say, I know plastic, deteriorates over time, so that's a good reason to not use plastic. I mean, I have some plastic things.
It bleeds probably.
It does yeah, it's just not great. I try not to use plastic
leaches, I should say, probably.
Yeah. As far as metal, I don't know if that would affect the sauce. If a sauce is kind of boiling and you're putting a metal object in there, it could have some sort of reaction that might negatively affect the sauce. I know wood is the most natural, and also I like to think of a wood spoon the same as I think of a let's say a cast iron pan. You kind of season the pan after a while. If you have a gravy spoon, when I say gravy, I mean red sauce, like tomatoes and sausage. When you have a gravy spoon that you've stirred sauces in for even a year, you're building a spoon that you can pass on to your children and your grandchildren. Is what is happening.
Yeah.
But that I just like the feel of it. It's something I kind of grew up with. Always just cooking in the kitchen. I didn't cook in the kitchen, but we always had wood, spoons for the sauce. And I think it's a good. I think it's just a good thing to stick to. But I was going to say, Chris, making tuna fish last night, a tuna fish sandwich, right? And, I did the classic. I put a little thyme in there, a little fresh thyme, dill, weed, and a little mayo, just a tiny bit of mayo. But this is what I did that I don't usually do, and I want to see your reaction. I was in the fridge, and I was like, okay, I got the mayonnaise, and I was looking, and I was like, man, I wonder if there's something. And then I saw horseradish sauce.
Ta-da!
And I was like, I know, right? Exactly. Have you done this before? Just a
horseradish
dash.
For me does wonders for salmon or tuna.
Fish in general, yeah. Just the tiniest, and I actually put too much, so I had to scrape some out of the bowl before I stirred. But I mean, it just added this nicest little kick that anybody could hope or dream for. And I was quite impressed. I gave some to Katie, Catherine. She hates when I call her Catherine, by the way. But Catherine loved it. She absolutely. She was like, "What did you put in here?" And I was like, "Horseradish, out of all things." And I think that's something I'm going to keep doing, at least until I get tired of it, and I switch to something else. But it was not bad. Have you done that with a tuna fish sandwich? Just a little mayo, tiny bit of horseradish, and then stirred it up.
No, but I will.
Yeah. Just how you started putting a nutmeg in your chicken salad. Wait, is that right?
Nutmeg in my
egg salad.
Eggs.
Yeah.
Deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs, sorry.
Well, what I did last night was I decided I was going to have chicken because I've been eating turkey and fish and all the other stuff. I've gotten away from red meat these days, but so but I've got a couple of steaks in the freezer too. So probably maybe if I get an opportunity. But anyway, I took these were chicken thighs, bone in, and I took the skin off. I dredged them in seasoned flour.
Oh, yeah.
And I put them in olive oil and browned them. And then I put it in the oven. But I had some leftover rotelli, the tomatoes, rotelli, spice stuff. that I put in my meatloaf the other day. But anyway, so I put that on top of the chicken and then put mozzarella cheese on top of that and let it bake.
Good.
It was delicious.
That sounds nice. I like the sound of that.
Yeah. The cheese made it nice and a nice little crust over top of the rotelli.
I love a crispy cheese crust. That's amazing. And also rotelli, very, very good tomato. A little spicy. I like, it's kind of cube shaped, right? It's got the diced tomato. It's a very nice, if you're making nachos for the big game on Sunday, not this Sunday, but
yeah, well, they just call it the big game.
The big game.
Or the game, I guess.
Yeah, the big game.
Whichever game you're thinking about.
Exactly.
It could be.
I was talking about the
Super Bowl.
I was talking about the basketball game. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
No, I was not.
Whatever game.
Yeah.
Whatever suits your fancy.
Whatever your big game is, you
That's
can make some nice nachos. Add a little rotelli, get a little kick to it. Very nice. Yeah. With the kitchen, I mean, cooking is like a painting almost, right? Like, it's kind of like painting. Speaking of painting, we haven't heard from Mike. What was his name?
Mark.
Yes.
Prieta.
We haven't heard from Mark in a while.
I tried to call him. He wanted me to call him, so I tried to call him, but I didn't get any answer. So I don't know what's going on with him right now. Yeah. Maybe I'll try to send him a text message or something.
I would love to have him back on. Yeah. He was a great guest. Also brought that nice painting for you, which was very nice.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, all right. Well, let's get going here.
Oh, okay.
All right. Featured event. We'll take a look at what happened on this date in history. Oh, did you watch Trump's inauguration?
I didn't watch it just because I didn't deem it important enough for viewing. Sorry, but I did watch some highlights from it. I saw. Is it Elon Musk came up and spoke a little bit? Did you watch it?
I just watched segments of it.
Okay.
I was busy doing other stuff.
Sure.
Out of my house.
Did you see him come up and speak, Elon Musk, the young guy? I heard he did this is what the New York Times is referring to as a Nazi salute, but he did kind of do one of these and then kind of one of these, and it was very
Sieg Heil.
Yes.
Wow.
And it reminded me a lot of the footage that you would watch in school of the Nazis and Hitler just screaming at a microphone for hours. I mean, I don't know how long he spoke, but it felt like hours anytime you watch any footage from that. It's just what are you saying, obviously getting people hype, pepped up. But I mean, I want to say a confirmed Nazi salute was done by Elon Musk. So that was an interesting thing that came out of all of that. Again, I'm kind of quoting a news article, and I watched it, my own opinion, I'm calling it that, but other people might have different opinions. I totally understand, but that's what I gathered from that. So, yeah, it was interesting, it was interesting to say the least. Yeah.
Well, I thought that Vance's wife was very pretty. His family, very nice, very beautiful.
Absolutely,
family. Yeah. And I must say that the First Lady was absolutely stunning. Just her whole outfit with the hat and everything. She was something else.
Yeah.
All right. So let's find out what's going on in history.
In this day in history, yes.
1973, on this date, the U.S. Supreme Court issued one of its most momentous decisions, ruling in Roe versus Wade, with the Texas statute criminalizing abortion in most instances violated a woman's constitutional right of privacy. So that was the featured event, and we'll move on down to 2021. American professional baseball player Hank Aaron, one of the game's greatest hitters, died at the age of 86. In 2018, American writer Ursula K. Le Guin, who was best known for tales of science fiction and fantasy imbued with concern for character development and language, died at the age of 88. I don't think I've read any of her stuff. I might try to pick up something.
Yeah.
2012, Joe Paterno, who was, as head coach of Penn State, one of the most successful coaches in the history of collegiate gridiron football, but whose final season was overshadowed by a sex abuse scandal involving a former assistant coach. Mm-hmm. And he died on this day at the age of 85.
I remember when all that was coming out. That was a really kind of crazy story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
In 2010, struggling with ratings, Conan O'Brien left The Tonight Show after hosting his last episode of late-night television program. And let's see, in 2006, Evo Morales, a member of the Aymara indigenous group, was sworn in as president of Bolivia, becoming the first Indian to hold the office. 1998, one of the most notorious domestic terrorists in U.S. history, Theodore Kaczynski, the so-called Unabomber, who killed 3 people and injured 22 in 16 attacks between 1979 and 1995, was sentenced to 4 terms of life in prison without parole.
It's a pretty harsh sentence, but totally understandable.
Yeah. 1992, serving as a payload specialist aboard the Discovery space shuttle, Roberta Bondar became the first Canadian woman and the first neurologist to travel into space. That was 1992. 1943, all Japanese resistance in Papua on the island of New Guinea, site of an important Allied base at Port Moresby in World War II, that ceased, all that Japanese resistance there. And let's see, 1931, American singer and songwriter Sam Cooke, one of the most influential black vocalists of the post-World War II era, was born in Clarksdale, Mississippi. And 1905, on what was later known as Bloody Sunday, Russian workers marching on St. Petersburg were fired on by Russian troops. In 1904, influential ballet choreographer George Balanchine was born in St. Petersburg. And let's see, 1901, Queen Victoria, who reigned for more than 60 years, during which time the British Empire reached the apex of its power, died at the age of 81. 1898, Sergei Eisenstein, a Russian film director and theorist known for such classics as Potemkin in 1925 and Alexander Nevsky in 1938 and Ivan the Terrible, released in 2 parts in 1944 and 1958, was born. And I think we'll just stop there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your history lesson.
That was a nice bit of history, you know.
Yeah, it's 26 minutes after 8 o'clock. Lines are open at 434-394-0924. We're on the Call Flo Show. It's already the 22nd day of January.
Unbelievable. I can't believe that. I was surprised when it was the 20th, too, because, it's just, where did those 20 days go? Am I right? Or, it's kind of... Yeah, flying by this month. But I feel like January usually does go by pretty fast, you know.
Yeah, it's February that is, the month that... It's a short month, but it feels
feels long. Forever. Any summer months feel like the longest time ever. I think it's the heat. I think the heat does that because, at least with my body, when it's hot outside, every moment stretches out in time and it's just suffering. And I'm sweating, and it's terrible.
Okay.
All right. Well, you got something.
Yes, I've got... I've always liked, since I've known about them, the Maine coon cat. Do you know what a coon cat is?
Is it like a cougar?
No. Come here. Let me show you.
Okay.
This cat. They are huge cats.
Oh, yeah.
They're called Maine coon cats, and they're terribly expensive because they've gotten terribly popular. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so this Maine Coon cat named Mittens, became an accidental jet setter this month when her cage was overlooked in a plane cargo hold, and she made 3 trips in 24 hours between New Zealand and Australia. Mittens, who is 8, was booked for one-way travel with her family from Christchurch, New Zealand, to their new home in Melbourne, Australia, on January 13th. But owner Margot Nees said Wednesday that as she waited for Mittens to be unloaded from the plane's freight area, 3 hours passed with no sign of the cat. It was then that ground staff told Nees the plane had returned to New Zealand with Mittens still on board. The return trip involves about 7.5 hours in the air. I said, how can this happen? How can this happen? That was her comment. The Air New Zealand pilot was told of the extra passenger during the flight and turned on the heating in the cargo hold to keep Mittens comfortable. She added, Niece was told that a stowed wheelchair had obscured a baggage handler's view of Mittens' cage. It was not a great start to our life in Melbourne because we didn't have the family. We weren't complete. So that's what she said. But anyway, so Mittens is home. The saga had a happy ending. The pet moving company that Niece used to arrange Mittens' travel met the cat on her return to Christchurch and ensured she was back on the plane for another trip to Melbourne.
Now, is Mittens going to pay for that extra fare, like airfare?
This time, just when she lost weight, but was otherwise unharmed. She basically ran into my arms and just snuggled up and just did the biggest cuddles of all time.
That's very nice.
A nice relief. Air New Zealand will reimburse all costs associated with Mittens' travel and has apologized for the distress caused, the airline said in a statement. So, but I think Maine Coon cats are just absolutely beautiful. And they don't require a whole lot. They just want love, And so if I didn't have 2 birds and Iggy, I would get one.
Maine Coon, yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, Maine Coon. Anyway, that's a good story. Oh, and we are down at the bottom of the hour already.
Indeed.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we've got the weather forecast coming up for today. We do have, and now until 10 o'clock this morning, this cold weather advisory. And I think that this should go on because it's going to be even colder.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Also, I mentioned that during the 7 o'clock hour, but Fort Pickett, but now Barfoot. Yeah. I said barefoot this morning, I think, but
it's Barfoot.
Barfoot.
Yeah.
Yes. They are operating on a 2-hour delay today. I'm not sure if they got snow where they're at, but I think it's just due to the extremely cold weather. So instead of opening up at 8, they are opening up at 10 today. So I should mention that. And yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you for doing that. Well, let's get to our weather forecast. It is brought to you by the Bank of Charlotte County.
Hello, I'm Stuart Wilborn, manager of the Bank of Charlotte County Loan Office in downtown Farmville. I invite you to call or come by and see me about your loan needs. Whether it's time to purchase investment property, build your dream house, expand your business, or purchase timberland or farmland, you will find old school personal assistance with attention to detail. Stop by our office at 216 North Main Street or call us at 391-1136. The Bank of Charlotte County, giving you more for your banking needs. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
All right. As I mentioned, we do have that cold weather advisory until 10 o'clock this morning. Otherwise, we do have some cloudiness out there, but it's supposed to clear off a little bit later on this morning. So it should be sunny today with a high near 27. North winds 5 to 7 miles per hour. For tonight, mostly clear with a low around 7 degrees. Thursday, partly sunny with a high near 37. For Thursday night, mostly clear with a low around 17. Friday, sunny with a high near 39 with a northwest wind around 3 to 5 miles per hour. Friday night, mostly clear with a low around 18. Saturday, sunny with a high near 42. Oh, goody, we're getting back up into the 40s. Saturday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 23. And for Sunday, partly sunny with a high near 49 degrees. Outside, we do have a humidity at 58%. Our barometer's on the rise at 30.50 inches. Our winds are around 7 miles per hour from the north-northeast. And a current temperature, and still cloudy skies, it's 16 degrees, so we've warmed up just a bit. So that's your forecast, a cold one, brought to you by the Bank of Charlotte County, with branch locations in Phoenix, Charlotte Courthouse, Brookneal, and their loan office in downtown Farmville. Go by there and visit Stewart. Okay, we do have our birthday calendar coming up. It's brought to you by Terry Atkins Wilson, PC.
The law office of Terry Atkins Wilson, PC, is located at 117 North Main Street in downtown Farmville. With deep roots in Farmville and our surrounding communities, Terry and her legal staff specialize in real estate law, wills and trusts, and business formations. Experience and professionalism are extended to every customer in every case. The needs and concerns of every customer are their primary focus. If you have legal needs, contact the law office of Terry Atkins Wilson, PC, for a consultation at 434-392-1422.
All right, Noah, who is celebrating on this January 22nd?
We have some special birthdays, some very
good.
special birthdays.
All right.
And starting off the list, we have January 22nd, Chelsea Dillard Fulcher is celebrating. I wonder if there's any relation to Henry Fulcher.
Could be.
Potentially. Elizabeth Grace Ledger, Jean Strum, and Harry Seymour. And also, I just want to double check. I thought I saw something this morning. If you don't mind letting people know how they get their birthdays to us,
course.
I'm going to run and check just to make sure I'm not missing one.
Okay. All right. While Noah's looking for that, I can tell you that you can add your birthdays to us or get them to us by our website at WFLO.net, or you can email to birthdays at WFLO.net. That's what I was trying to say. Or you can call them in right now at 434-394-0924. Or you can mail them in to WFLO 217 West 3rd Street in Farmville, Suite 2 in Farmville at 23901. And
I did miss one.
Okay.
It was actually yesterday, but I do want to mention it. It's Grace Barlow, wife of the Mr. Barlow, who stopped by that one day and chatted with us on the air.
Yes, okay.
Her little thing is still not 60, and she is a librarian extraordinaire.
All right.
So just want to shout out to her, happy birthday.
Grace Barlow.
Yes, Grace Barlow.
What a nice name.
Yeah, that is a nice name.
I can picture Grace as a librarian. Yeah. It's easy to do. And you also said that now they can add a birthday to
our website. Pretty easy. It's another way of emailing us, but basically you just fill out your name, your email, and then type the message on our website, and we will get that.
Okay.
So many ways to get your birthdays to us.
Very good. I'm so glad.
All right.
All right. And the birthday calendar brought to you by Terry Atkins Wilson, PC. For the right legal advice, visit her office on Main Street in Farmville. All right. Now
Recipe of the week time.
It's Recipe of the Week time.
You know what we need? We need like a theme song for the segment.
Oh, really?
What do you think?
Well,
a theme song? It's like Recipe of the Week.
Yeah.
Some opera.
Okay. Opera.
Or sounds of like kitchen utensils being thrown in the kitchen. Something. Glass
You'll
breaking.
think of something.
Yeah,
I
will.
That's pretty good.
All right.
idea.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I'll get to work on that.
Okay. All right. We're going to. I'm going to give you the recipe for basic ham soup. This is just all good ingredients that'll make you feel really, really warm and good all day long and into the evening as well. Okay. Here we go. Ingredients. You need 8 cups of water. And in order for that, to cook that, well, that's what you're going to do with the beans. You're going to cook the beans, okay? You need a pound of dry, great northern beans, sorted and rinsed. Okay? Then you need a half a teaspoon of salt, a cup of chopped carrots, a cup of chopped onion, a half a stalk of celery, chopped, a teaspoon of minced garlic, a teaspoon of mustard powder. I'm going to have to get some of that. I don't think I have any mustard powder. 2 bay leaves, a ham hock, and 2 cups of chopped ham, and then half a teaspoon of ground white pepper, or to taste. All right, the first thing you do is you just gather all your ingredients. You place the water and beans in a large pot, bring to a boil over high heat, stir in salt, and remove the pot from heat, cover, and let stand for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That
is easy.
Easy.
Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
I
know
mean,
my mother used to soak the beans overnight.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but...
Hey, you ever make lentil soup, but like first dump the lentils out and like search for stones? Because like on the packaging, I'm not making this up, on the packaging it says make sure you go through, like you would imagine the people who are packaging the lentils would do this already, but apparently not, because there's a little warning being like there may be stones, you must search like lentils. I swear, I'm not even kidding.
I don't, lentil is not on my list.
A lentil is not on your list.
No.
Yeah, but like a core memory of mine is being a kid and just like a table with lentils dumped on it. And I'm like searching, making sure there's no stones. And you would like throw the lentils in a bowl that are lentils. And then occasionally you would find a small rock. And these were bags at Walmart, that we bought.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You don't believe me, Chris. I can tell by your face you don't believe. It's okay. It says it on the packaging. Yeah.
Okay. I can just see you now looking through these.
I'm talking about like a 4-year-old Noah. No, I'm kidding. I wasn't that young. But like just looking for stones, that's the weirdest thing to me. Okay.
It's like trying to find a pearl in an oyster.
Kind of. Yeah.
Oh well. Okay. All right. Now we've got the beans in the water for an hour. Yeah. Okay. So, while that's going on, you can be chopping up your carrots, chopping up your onion, your celery, and everything. Get all that together. So you add the carrots, the onion, the celery, the garlic, the mustard, and the bay leaves to the pot with the beans. Stir well. Add the ham hock and bring to a boil. Mm-hmm. Reduce heat to low and simmer for an hour. Remove the ham hock and discard. Usually that would be for Iggy. Anyway, stir in chopped ham and simmer for 30 minutes. Season with ground white pepper to taste. Per serving, it's 262 calories, which is not bad. So, this particular recipe serves 8, and I would imagine that it's just as good the day after as it is when you cook it. So that's it. That's your basic ham and bean soup for a winter's day.
Sounds delicious. I mean, if somebody makes that, I wish they would reach out. I think people need to start reaching out. I'm gonna start making some of these recipes too. Especially, I like the was it sausage roti? Like there was a tortellini or that is just like such a like nothing like pasta and sausage, like the two
they just
things
they marry
in life.
Each other.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So there you have it. We'll have it on our website.
On the website, yeah.
So basic ham and bean soup.
Very nice.
Yep.
Very nice.
All right. 434-394-0924. We're halfway through the week. It's hump day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Over the hump Wednesday. Yeah. I saw this strange news story. If you'll let me, I'll read the title
I think
and
I'll
see.
let you. Okay.
Okay. And this is fresh news. This article came out on the 20th, and it's from the KXII, and I think it is in. It might be in Pennsylvania. Anyways, it says this is the headline: woman handcuffs son to oil tank as punishment for eating too many hot dogs, officials say. So the officials say this.
Okay, officials say. Okay.
Would you ever do anything like that, Chris?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. But like
I did force feed Katie a peanut butter sandwich.
Oh no! But that's
never forget it.
That's a caring thing to
It
do.
was a
You're
caring
trying to
thing.
feed your child. You're not punishing them
No.
for eating too many hot dogs.
Right. Well, the hot dog was one thing she wanted, and I cooked it, and then she didn't want it. And
Yeah.
she wanted grilled cheese, so I fixed the grilled cheese. She didn't want that.
Before we get into the article, I think it's important to set this statements. Is there such a thing as too many hot dogs? Can you eat? Because I think about Matlock, the television show from the 80s.
Oh, uh-huh.
He ate 10 hot dogs a day. Was that too many? Apparently not for him. But can we all agree that there is a limit when it comes to hot dogs?
It depends upon
Yeah.
what kind of hot dog.
Sure. Let's say it's an all-natural, nitrate-free hot dog.
Well, I myself bought some State Fair corn dogs.
All right.
Sometimes I get a hankering,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And Francis got a hankering for a hot dog too, but normally we don't eat hot dogs.
Yeah.
But as far as there being a limit,
like a cutoff number,
I don't know.
5? No. I'd say 8. 8 hot dogs. That's a lot of hot dogs.
There's a lot of hot dogs. I could eat, maybe if I was really hungry, I could eat
4.
3.
3 or 4, yeah. Same. Yeah, I totally understand that. Well, I'm going to get into the article. It says, Pennsylvania woman is accused of chaining her 11-year-old son to a basement fuel tank for hours. The reason, according to authorities, was because she said he ate too many hot dogs. Chastity Canara, this is a very strange name, but
Don't they all have strange names?
Candelero, I think it is, now faces charges of false imprisonment, unlawful restraint, and endangering the welfare of a child. It says right here, the little boy is the victim, and he was actually the one that called 911. Lebanon County District Attorney Pierre Hess-Gaff said the little boy was 11 years old and told investigators the type of punishment was not out of the ordinary for him. So apparently this is a common theme in this household. Thank goodness for
scary.
Yeah. He says he sustains this type of treatment and has before in the past. In dates prior to this one, that he has not ever witnessed his siblings having the same punishments, Gaffs described. So it says it started on January 11th of this year when investigators say 33-year-old Candelero woke the victim up at 5 a.m. for not following a house rule by eating too many So that's a house rule, apparently. It says right here, Candelero woke up the victim at 5 a.m. for not following a house rule by eating too many hot dogs.
Okay. Now I think I've heard everything.
It says right here, she starts berating him for that he ate too many hot dogs.
Well, how many did he eat? It doesn't say.
Let me get to that, Chris. Graff said she saw it on the cameras, and he was not. He was going to get his punishment. So apparently, this lady has cameras set up in her house, monitoring the fridge, and also people going in and out of the fridge. This is a crazy story. Okay, it says that's when Candelero allegedly took her son to the basement, grabbed the handcuffs, and she actually handcuffed him to the fuel tank. Mom then leaves and goes about her day, Graff said. I guess Graff would be the kid. Mm-hmm. The victim was struck in the the frigid basement, stuck in the frigid basement for hours. He winds up being able to weasel his way free from the fuel tank, Graff said. So he has a bunk bed in his room. He goes upstairs and he actually recuffs himself to the bed because he is concerned. The concern is when mom gets home, I'm not cuffed to the oil tank anymore. What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to my siblings?
She sounds like the mother from hell.
Yes, that's another good way of putting it. let's see. It says right here, okay, Colorado Candelario is being held on a $100,000 bond at the Lebanon County Jail. And once again, copyright 2025, CNN news source, all rights reserved. So this is a real, like, this actually happened. This isn't, right. Because reading it does sound like it's a made up.
Well, they ought to handcuff her.
Yeah, I think they
for several hours.
Yeah.
See how that feels.
That's terrible.
It is terrible.
All for eating too many hot dogs. I mean, that's a crime. That is a crime. Yeah, I find it interesting. She had security cameras set up.
I think she needs help. I think she's a paranoid schizophrenic.
I think she's just a little worn out of being a mother. It sounds like she has other kids. You know, Chris, I'm not a parent. I never have been. Probably won't. But I would imagine if I had more than one kid and they were just constantly grinding my gears, right? I get that you would want to handcuff them, but like the part in you that, you know, you shouldn't do it, but you want to, you know, there's like a want to be like, and I should handcuff that little child of mine who's eating all my hot dogs, but you don't do it. And that's what makes you sane. That's what keeps you, but like, I'm sure that's not uncommon for parents to be like, man, what, like I should lock my child up, because like, I mean, imagine being overworked. You're working over 40 hours a week. You come home, all your hot dogs are gone because your child ate them. That's a terrible feeling for.
It's not funny.
It's terrible. Mm-hmm. It's horrible. It's a crime that your child and then so you want to retaliate in some way. And so you lock them up, but you don't, you know, you want to lock them up, but you don't actually do it. That's terrible.
I would never have thought of locking up my children.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You're a good parent, Chris.
Well, that's neither here nor there, but you know,
yeah,
I would never have thought to do that.
Sure.
To my children. Anyway. Okay.
All right. Enough of that. Let's take a deep breath.
Yeah, take a deep breath.
Pennsylvania, though, that's not that far away. Not so far away from here.
She's incarcerated.
Yeah,
that's good.
Man, what I wouldn't do to get an interview with her. I mean, I think she would. I wonder if she can call up from the jail. We can talk to her. Okay, that's
all right.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, Noah.
Okay, Chris.
Right. Okay. 434-394-0924. If you have any comments about that story, give us a call. All right, let's move along.
Sure.
To our famous birthdays. Musician Steve Perry has a birthday today. He's turned 76. Yeah. How about that?
Interesting.
Yeah. His fun fact is he released a cover of the Bobby Darin song, Call Me Irresponsible, last year. I haven't heard that particular rendition. Actress Diane Lane, she's one of my favorites. She turned 76 today. No, she turned 60 today. I'm sorry. She was at the 76th Prime Emmy Time Awards in last September. But anyway, she turns 60 today. She portrayed Superman's mother, Martha Kent, in multiple films. She's also in, I'll think of it in a minute. Let's see. DJ Jazzy Jeff turned 60 today as well.
It's quite the name, Jazzy Jeff.
Jazzy Jeff, yeah. All right. Under the Tuscan Sun is what Diane.
That movie.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. Anyway, let's see. Celebrity chef Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri. Yeah.
Fieri turns 57 today. He helped start a restaurant chain named Johnny Garlic's, excuse me.
He says show drivers, drive-ins, and dines, or something like that.
Drive-ins and diners, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And yeah, he's always like in the back of a restaurant, like next to let's say a deep fryer, and he's just like he's a little an overweight guy, but he's always wearing these like flame shirts. That are buttoned up. He has a
lot of tattoos.
Yeah. And like he has bleached blonde hair, and he's always like eating something over food or like a cutting board, and he's like, oh, yeah, that's great, that's great. But it's just like there's like food falling out of his mouth that you can see like on camera, and that's like every episode. He just goes to some restaurant, goes to the back of it, and starts eating aggressively.
That's nasty.
It's kind of gross.
Yeah. We got a caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Oh, good morning, Bipeds.
Oh, all right. What did you say?
Pardon?
What did you say? Good morning.
Bipeds.
Oh, okay.
Sure. I'll take that.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. I just maybe wanted to make a comment about the lady that was not very good to her kids.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's odd because being a parent, it's like probably one of the most important things that the human can partake in.
That's right.
Just to get a good, viable candidate to reproduce in the future. And it's a job that you don't have to train for. You don't have to get a certificate. You don't have to nothing. It's one of the few things. It takes more time and effort to get a driver's license than it does to be a parent.
Yeah. That's a great point. There's so many people that in life, and you're like, they should never have a kid because that would not wind up well for anybody. But you're right. There I want to almost say, I mean, obviously this would be against everything constitutional, but there should be some restrictions to who can have a kid and who can't.
Oh, I totally, yes.
You know what I mean, though,
agree.
right? Because you don't want Joe Blow down the street to have who's just I don't want to say an alcoholic, but just who's just not responsible enough to handle the time and the dedication it takes to raise a child right. But you watch an episode of Cops on TV, and it's just a trailer park home, and there's 8 babies. There's 8 babies on a mother's shoulder, somehow perched up like birds, and the mother's screaming. And they're all babies. They're all months apart somehow, and she has all of these kids. And she's like, oh, the husband's doing this and this. He's causing a fit. And it's just why this? Why are you doing this to yourself and everybody around you? It's kind of unfortunate. Yeah.
It is. And the one that gets I guess has the worst end of the deal is the poor kid. You're just creating another mess.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
There's 8 kids that are going to be exactly like that, and then they're going to have 8 kids. It's just it's like a disease. It's almost like the Black Plague in a way. It's just there's no end in sight.
No, well, that's harsh.
Yeah,
but, yes, I agree. But, I mean, what's the easiest thing to do? Put a patch on people, and they pull off the patch when you're 30 or something? Because there's a good age that you should bear, and when you're just kids ramping around, you're way too young.
I've seen 30-year-olds act like 15-year-olds. I don't even think it's an age thing. I think it's purely just the responsibility. Some people are incapable of ever raising a child. Given 1,000 years on Earth, they would never be mature enough to raise it. I think some people are genetically predisposed to just be totally reckless, narcissistic, immature, abusive, and if they were to have a child, that child would grow up to be exactly like the parents, or not even exactly, but just it's to raise a kid right. It takes time, it takes dedication, it takes patience. Imagine all the patience that you got to have as a parent. When they're being a kind of bratty or whatever, and you got to be you got to take your time and give them a warning, and then if they keep doing it, one more, and then that's when you throw them into the street. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah. But yeah,
we're done.
Okay, sorry.
So yeah,
wrapping up.
Yep. What's that?
Oh, no, I was just wrapping up my points. Yeah, that's it. That's all.
I'm
done talking.
You gave it to her. Them, her, him, whomever.
Well, there comes a point when you discipline a child.
Sure.
But, if you step over those bounds, even now, a child can call 911 and say, my mama's beating me with a...
Yeah.
Fly swatter,
a wood spoon,
or
something,
something like that.
Yeah,
and maybe he was doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Or you set rules in a house, but you can go overboard with that kind of
absolutely.
stuff.
Yeah.
And you can make a kid paranoid.
Exactly.
Or
and
your
then
child.
causing mental distress for the child. That's not going to magically leave the child once he becomes an adult. That's like... If a child has to call 911 because the parent is being abusive in some way like that, like that's going to cause years of therapy. Like, for, like you know.
Yeah, it is. So.
Yeah. Like, you know, I could imagine some of the calls that the police get from kids saying, Mom took my Xbox away and I don't have, you know, anything to do, or they shut down my phone service. So I wonder how many phone calls cops are checking out that are just, it's the new kids, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, I think that goes along with like a kid being spoiled. Like there's two ways of messing up a kid in my mind. There's like, and I don't have a kid, so I'm basing this off of nothing, no thing I'm basing it off of. But like you have the abusive way of messing up a kid, and that's just taking your anger and your stress out on the kid, your insecurities, whatever, and making the kid the problem. You know, that's just like all of your problems you're putting on that kid. Or there's a way of like spoiling some kids, and then now like kids, like you said, caller, like they call up and they're like, "Hello, 911. My parent took away my phone. My mother took away my phone. So can you like arrest her or something?" Like, you know, it's just like it's totally the other side.
Yeah.
There you got to find a balance in between.
Moderation.
Yeah.
Everything in moderation.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, we got to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can
thank you for
continue this
thank you for the stage
conversation tomorrow, if you wish. All right?
Yes, thank you very much.
Or not. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Okay.
Probably not.
Probably not. But
Yeah.
anyway, it was
Anyways,
interesting.
this was a wacky episode, Chris.
It was interesting, yeah. And okay.
All right.
All right. I got to talk to this child.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got to go. It's time for news, weather, all that kind of stuff, and music.
More music up ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Take care, everybody. Stay warm.